It ain't Gilly and NORE, I ain't friends with you.
All right, y'all. The podcast wars continue. Now, last time we spoke, Camron was talking greasy about Joe Budden over some comments NORE and Joe made about the other 90s rappers starting podcasts and failing. Now, they were taking joy in some of these rappers doing bad and not doing the same numbers that Drink Champs and the Joe Budden podcast do. So, now we got Noriega responding to Camron, and it looks like NORE is disappointed. He said, "Me and you are friends from the 90s. You have my real life phone number. You hung out with me for days before you did Drink Champs just to make sure I was the same Yala that you know. If you thought at any time I was going at you, why would you go to the internet first?" Now, if you go back to the comments that NORE and Joe made, they didn't say any specific names, but of course, it's not a lot of old 90s rappers doing sports shows other than Camron and Mace. But at the same time, I don't think NORE and Joe were really trying to hurt anybody's feelings. They were just bragging. See, New York niggas love to brag. They love to talk ish when they up. And I don't think they were necessarily trying to start any beef, but I will admit NORE and Joe Budden are messy. And you cannot predict how anybody else will take or perceive your words. But I have to agree with NORE on this part. If you got somebody's number, why do you got to jump to the internet? And I also thought it was telling that NORE said Camron hung out with him before doing Drink Champs just to make sure he was the same Yala you know. I think a lot of people have thoughts about these celebrities who make it real big and late in their careers. I think people look at Joe Budden like, how did he get that big? How did Fat Joe get that big? How did Noriega get that big? What's going on at Rock Nation? And I think Camron was looking at NORE saying, hold on, bro, have you changed since the success of Drink Champs? And how did you get there? Right? Did you get that Jay-Z stimulus pack? So at the end of the day, it does seem like Camron and NORE have a friendship that they can kind of salvage, but you know, Joe and Camron, it's a different story. He called Joe a crackhead, all right? So I feel like they're going to need a little more than kind words to figure that out. But also, I want to give credit to Camron and Mace because they didn't copy everybody else's show and just do an interview show. They did a sports show, so at least it's a little original or more original than everybody just trying to interview people, right? We gonna leave it off with a little montage between Camron and NORE, and let's see how it all went south. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. Let's check this out.
Cam in the beginning, yep. We used to do cartwheels together. Yeah. Go Google footage of Cam doing cartwheels. I promise you.
Boy, Cam. Let me get more. The kids got cartwheels. I gotta do what? It's a third cartwheel. It's a third cartwheel. You know what I'm saying?
Old Dirty Bastard, Destiny Child, Noriega. Noriega, shout out to NORE.
Noriega on his album, he also does some stuff like that.
People reveal their sensitive side because you realize it's a big world and you're not the only one going through these problems, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like in my case, I revealed a lot of things that go on in my life, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that goes on, because you could turn on a talk show and be like, that's what's going on in my life also, you know what I'm saying?
It ain't Gilly and NORE, I ain't friends with you. Everybody else 100,000 for the interview now. I don't want talk. Y'all niggas chatty patties. You got a problem, no problem. I send the addy gladly.